Steph Curry just set the timeline for the Golden State Warriors. He signed a 1-year, $62 million extension to add to his current deal. So Steph's contract is aligned with Draymond Green. They both go out in 3 years. The Dubs have a 3-year window to win Steph a 5th ring, and the newest rumors are insane. Athletic reporter Sam Amick recently said Jimmy Butler is going to be a free agent next summer, didn't get an extension done. The Warriors have interest and have made a couple of calls this summer. And Warriors owner Joe Lacob has had dreams of Giannis coming the Warriors' way for a very long time. Giannis is a name to monitor. But how realistic is this? I mean, so far, the Warriors have done nothing. They lost Clay, got a few role players. Steph will be lucky to make the play-in, but we have clues on what they're gonna do based on what they just did this summer. And actually, we can guess what the exact trade will look like. But the official dog of the Warriors was Clay's bulldog Rocco, which I loved as a bulldog family too. I want to feed my guys healthy food, and the first thing I noticed on Sundays was human grade ingredients. But it doesn't go in the fridge? No, Sundays is convenient like traditional dog food, and that healthy. How? They've got an air drying process, and my bulldog Penny is in love with the taste. She goes crazy for Sundays, and I feel good knowing that I am feeding her healthy food. I'm talking 90% meat, 10% veggies, 0% synthetic ingredients. But my pet peeve is finding out late on a weeknight that we're out of food. Then I gotta drive to the pet store at the last minute, but Sundays ships right to my door, so I never have to worry about running out of dog food again. I know you wanna try it, your pup will too. And this deal is unbelievable. For AM Hoops viewers, your first order, 50% off. Just go to sundaysfordogs.com/AMHoops. That is 50% off your first order. It helps the channel, and your pups will love it. So people go crazy over Jimmy Butler or Giannis, but any big name will work. The Dubs already went hard for Paul George and Lauri Markkanen. All they really are looking for is a number 2 scorer for Steph. So reports said that Golden State was on the verge of landing PG several times. They agreed to give him the max. Steph and Draymond were 100% on board. And on the table was a combination of Andrew Wiggins, Chris Paul, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and a first-round pick. But the Clips said no. Why? They wanted to avoid the second apron. So next, the Warriors called the Jazz for Lauri Markkanen. Utah asked for every pick, every swap, and every young player. Kuminga, Moody, Pods, everything. So the Warriors said no. I mean, Utah wanted to be blown away like they were for Rudy Gobert, so the Warriors slammed down the phone. So what we know is they want a legit number 2 for Steph, but they're not gonna overpay. So who is realistic? Well, the number 1 thing to watch out for is a team that's about to blow up. I mean, every time a star demands a trade, it's because his team is a dumpster fire. Damian Lillard finally left Portland only after they pivoted to Scoot Henderson. James Harden left Brooklyn when KD and Kyrie became too toxic. So which team is next? Well, the obvious choice is the Bucks. Giannis has said over and over he is willing to move if Milwaukee is not competitive. And have you seen the East? The Celtics are far and away the best team in the NBA. The Knicks and Sixers improved this summer. So Milwaukee can't afford a single injury or a down season from their players. But guess what? Their core is old. Brook Lopez is 36 this season. Dame, 34. Chris Middleton, an injury-prone 33, and even Giannis is about to be 30. Guys don't get healthier and better at this age. Milwaukee's got all the signs of being a mess. So if that happens, Giannis could easily be on a different team next year. But outside of Giannis and Jimmy Butler, Golden State's got their eyes on one other big name. Now, before we get there, who are the Warriors going to trade away? Well, we saw the names that they offered for Paul George. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody. One guy we didn't see, Brandon Podziemski. The Dubs are in love with Pods and consider him untouchable. In fact, Pods was working out at the Warriors facility on draft night. The GM Mike Dunleavy saw him and said, a lot of these other teams are calling about you. They want you. but you're not going anywhere. You're ours. Then the owner, Joe Lacob, had dinner with Jazz owner Ryan Smith, and he said the one player he wasn't going to move for Lauri Markkanen is Brandon Podziemski. So Warrior fans are responding. Yes, let's be a 10th seed again for Pods. And yes, let's waste Curry's prime and wait 3 years for Pods to be good. But are they making the same mistake that other people made for years? Pods was not a 5-star recruit. He was ranked 72nd in the class of 2021. So he went to Illinois, where the coaches didn't really like him, averaged 4 minutes a game. So Pods transferred to Santa Clara, immediately dropped 20 points and 9 boards a game, Conference Player of the Year. Then, at the Combine, he impressed scouts and became an unlikely 19th overall pick. So the plan was to develop Pods in the G League. But he impressed again at practice. Eventually started over Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson as a rookie. Every time people see this small white guy with curly hair, and he proves them wrong. Pods was a great rebounder and led the NBA in charges drawn as a rookie. Good passer, cutter, and defender, but developing as a shooter. Basically, he is the role player that every contending team needs. But would they actually trade him? I mean, there's a good chance the Golden State is saying all this just to pump up his value to eventually land a star. But right now the hype looks real, unlike Jonathan Kuminga. Dude is so close to being traded. I mean, right now he wants a max contract, but the Dubs aren't interested. He was the 7th overall pick in 2021 and was held out of their playoff rotation for years. So JK finally complained to the media about his role and started getting big minutes. Last year, he started 46 games with a franchise record 138 dunks, something the Warriors don't have a lot of. People called it his breakout season, but a big problem emerged late in the year. Kuminga got injured and was out for 6 games, and in that stretch, Golden State went 5-1 with better defense. It turned out Draymond plays better with a traditional center and rim protector, Trace Jackson Davis. So Steve Kerr benched Kuminga because his game is flawed. Imagine playing JK, Draymond, and a traditional center, 3 non-shooters. So Kerr said after the season, what JK's looking at is, how can he make himself more versatile to be available in different lineups? Can he be a small forward? That's a big question, and I don't know the answer to that. Translation, learn how to shoot or you're out of here. Now dude wants a max contract? No! They cannot wait to include him in a trade. So we know that Kuminga is going to be in this deal. They also have sneakily a boatload of picks and swaps. For example, the 2025 first round pick, 2027 first, the protected part of 2030, which is 1 through 20, and swaps in 26, 28, 29, 31, all their second round picks. Or they could do 2026 first, 2028 first, and swaps. Point is, it's enough to get a superstar. So who will they target? Well, Giannis and Jimmy Butler are the current rumors, and I love Jimmy. He's a great fit. I mean, Jimmy scores inside out, Steph scores outside in, and Jimmy has always needed a legit number 1 to get him over the top. He has proven in the playoffs, obviously. But what other teams could have the wheels come off? Well, Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers stick out. Kawhi's got 2 finals MVPs already. Obviously, his health is a big issue. But outside of Giannis and Jimmy, one big name to watch out for is Devin Booker. He created an amazing bond with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry during the Olympics. And why not throw Kevin Durant in there as well? And obviously, LeBron and the Lakers. LeBron and Steph cannot stop talking about playing with each other one day. But if there's one thing we saw in Paris with those two, is that Steph still performs at his best in big games. He just needs an opportunity to play in them. The Warriors know this, and they are doing everything they can to reach the top again. Get Steph there. So they are being patient and waiting for the perfect deal to come around. But I would be shocked if anything actually happened this season. I mean, the Dubs would need to make a big trade at the deadline, which is rare. So who can actually take down the Boston Celtics this coming year? They were dominant all season, but I think 4 teams are a real threat in both the East and the West.